Hello everybody and welcome to this week's video. It is a new month, which means of course we have to do our wrap up for the previous month. So in May I did only read 10 books, which is a lot to most people, but to me that's not, like, I've just done 30 books in 30 days. I can do better than 10. But I have been in a slump most of the month. And I've been incredibly busy because it's been my birthday, my mum's birthday, my friend's hen do, my cousin's birthday. So I've had shit going on every weekend, whilst also then trying to set up a small business so that I'm not unemployed and can afford to keep buying all of these books. That being said, I only have 3 books that I've pre-ordered for June, so this should be a pretty easy month to get my TBR to keep going down, because I only need to read 4 books, and then my TBR has gone down again. So with that said, these are the 10 books that I read in May. So I started the month pretty strong and I read The Dagger and the Flame and The Rebel and the Rose by Catherine Doyle, which obviously Cleo recommended. I did a little reading vlog of just these 2 books and I really did love them. I gave The Dagger and the Flame a 4.5 and The Rebel and the Rose a 5-star. I think this is enemies to lovers done incredibly well. I think the world building is fascinating. The way the plot just blew my mind a bit. You know, this easily could be one of my favourite fantasy series of all time if the ending is done well. Because there's been a cut, like Powerless, I would have said is my favourite fantasy series of all time, but the ending lets it down. I didn't like Fearless and Fearful. What is a good example of a fantasy series I love? The Bridge Kingdom. I think every book in that was incredible. The Legends of Thesma, that was incredible. So it is very dependent on how the next book goes as to whether this remains a top series of mine. But for the minute, incredibly highly rated. Then I started Shield of Sparrows and I didn't care. I wasn't really interested. I think because I was audiobooking it as well, I find it really tricky to actually follow what's going on in a fantasy if I'm not paying full attention to it. Like, a lot of the time if I'm listening to an audiobook, I'll be playing The Legends of Zelda. I'll be playing Zelda Breath of the Wild because I've played it enough that I can do that mindlessly and focus on what's being said in my ears. I didn't do that for Shield of Sparrows, so it is my own fault, but I ended up DNFing that. Then I read The Spell Shop by Sarah Beth Durst. This is another recommendation from Cleo, and I gave this one a 4-star. I think it's a bit generous. If I'm being real, it's a 3.5. I liked it. It was okay. It was really slow though, really slow. So in this we're following Keela, who is a librarian in, I don't know what the city is called, in a city that's basically under rebellion. And so the library that she works in is being burnt down. So she grabs a bunch of books and her spider plant, who is alive, called Kaz, and she flees to her home island. And on the island she then sets up a spell shop, which is illegal because magic is outlawed, and disguises it as a jam shop so that she can make a living on the island. It was really fun. I liked the plot, I liked the premise, I liked the characters, but just I think the writing style maybe I found a bit dull. So who knows. I have got The Enchanted Greenhouse, which is book 2 in this series, and I have The Faraway Inn by the same author, so I am going to keep those and give those a go. But if I don't like the next Sarah Beth Durst book I read, I will just, that's it. I won't read any more from her because I don't have the money all the time to invest in authors that I'm not interested in. So I hope that I like The Enchanted Greenhouse, which I will be reading in the next couple months, but I'm hesitant. So 3.5 for that. And also the covers are so stunning. I don't want to get rid of these. They're gorgeous. So what was next? Oh, then I read an arc called The Great Italian Holiday Mix-Up, which was really fun. I did enjoy it and I read it very quickly. The premise of that is that these 2 couples separately have applied for this mystery holiday where you enter a bunch of answers into the system and it picks your dream holiday and then finds the middle ground for you and your partner's dream holiday. But both of the men in these relationships have the same, the exact same name. So there is a mix-up where the couples are split up and like sent off with the other couple's partner. I love the premise. It was really fun. I love the holiday element. It made me really want to go on holiday, which is excellent. But it is absolutely cheating throughout the whole book. The whole thing, emotional cheating. They kiss at one point, so it's actual like physical cheating, and I just cannot get behind that. I love the book, I love the characters. My god, you needed to have talked to your girlfriend before you started kissing someone else. Not even girlfriend, fiance. Boy, no. That was a conversation that needed to be had sooner. So that was a 3-star. Then I very unfortunately had another DNF this month. I started reading The Roommate Rule by Georgia Stone, and I just found Max, the main male character, incredibly irritating, and I did not want them to get together, so I don't want to see them happy. So I DNF'd that one, which is a shame because I was really looking forward to that book, but it's fine. It's fine. Who needs to enjoy books? Just buy them and hate them. No, that one did piss me off because I literally got that book, started reading it, and got rid of it like in the span of a couple days because I just didn't like it. However, I have got some more books that I ordered and arrived this month, and they were phenomenal. The first of which is Fever Dream by Elsie Silver. We know I'm an Elsie Silver stan. You can see my shrine to her behind me. This was so much better than I was anticipating because the first book in series by Elsie Silver, 9 times out of 10 are a 3-star. This surprised me because I think it's going to be a 4.5. I've given it a 4 officially, but I think it has potential to keep going up in my brain because I really liked it. I really liked it. We follow Emmett and Julia, who don't get along, but that's primarily because Emmett is her brother's biggest rival in the bull riding community. So that's kind of the rivalry that they've got. Emmett then applies to go on a dating show called Romance Ranch, and Julia happens to be one of the people working on the show behind the scenes, and so they start spending lots of time together, and it's all very cute, and I really liked it. So of course this was great. I loved this. 4.5. And then, very surprisingly, I actually had a 5-star read, very out of the blue, because I was not anticipating that, because I'd seen some like mid reviews of this, so I wasn't anticipating much, and maybe that's why I was so like excited when I started to love this, and that is Dolly All the Time by Annabelle Monaghan. This follows Dolly Brick, who is a single mum that has just had to move back to her hometown for the summer to look after her brother who has a brain injury, and her dad who's, I think it's like the greenhouse or the shed or something, it caught fire, and so she's like, right, I'm just gonna come back and assess the situation here, like, do you guys need my help? And they do. But while she's back in her hometown, this like very rich family that the area is named after, their eldest son, Stuart, don't like the name Stuart, but Stuart, he gets a flat tire and he doesn't know how to change it, so Dolly helps him. This is photographed and like posted everywhere saying that they're a couple, and they just go along with it. And we love that. We love fake dating. I just loved all of it, to be honest. It was really good. The way Annabelle Monaghan writes emotions, I think, is extremely well done. Like, if she's writing an emotion, I'm feeling that emotion as I'm reading it, and that is how reading should be. This is like a top tier romance book for me. This is incredible work. 5 stars across the board for this. I loved it, and I cannot wait to continue reading Annabelle Monaghan books because I think she might be one of my favourite romance authors now. Like, she's up there with Emily Henry for me. They live on the same shelf. They're the same vibes in my brain. And we all know I love Emily Henry. Again, see the shrine on my bookcase. So I was very happy about that. And then to round out the month, I actually read 2 novellas on Kindle Unlimited. I read Save the Horse, Keep the Cowboy by Jessica Peterson. This, I believe, I don't remember much of it, to be honest. But it is like brother's best friend, maybe? Brother's best friend, sounds right. Second chance. It was fine. I gave it a 3-star. I knocked it down from a 4 because there's a bit of singing in it, and I was a bit like, no, don't like that. So that was a 3. And then I also, from the same like collection of short stories, I read One Hot Summer Wedding by Fallon Ballard, which I actually really enjoyed. It was another second chance romance, this time between it was best friend's brother. Second chance in the sense that they both fancied each other in high school and then didn't get together for reasons I won't say because it is a spoiler. And then at the sister's wedding, the friend's wedding, they end up having to share a room, and I really loved it. I think this one was done so well, and it's another one where I kind of think, you know, like, make it a bit longer, I want to read more of this. So that was fun, and a 4-star. So in terms of highlights from the month, obviously The Dagger and the Flame, Rebel and the Rose, and Dolly All the Time are my top reads. I think Dolly All the Time is going to be in my brain all the time from this point on. That it really just absolutely blew me away. So I do highly recommend that one. If you're going to read any of the books I've read this month, that's the one I recommend. And then I have some big plans for the summer on this channel, which I'm not gonna say yet. I don't know when I'm gonna announce it, but not yet. So I will see you next week with another video. I believe it should be another reading vlog, hopefully, if I read the books on time. But I will see you there what is my outro? Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next week with another video. Bye!